Africa has been classified as a bottomless pit by the economic international community. Bottomless pit because for almost about a half a century, about a half of $1 trillion have been pumped into the African countries. And the big question is, do we see the development of that continent to be equivalent to the amount of money which has been pumped into that continent? Well, this is a question for you to ask yourself. And the main issue here, it's not even about that, but recently I came across some news indicating that African leaders are meeting with European Union leadership to discuss ways by which they can curb or curtail the influx of African illegal migration to the European countries. And my question is, if the European leadership classified Africa as a bottomless pit, why would they want to discuss this program with African leadership? And they pledged $2 billion to this cause. They're ready to give $2 billion to the African leadership to be able to help curb this illegal migration of Africans to Europe. Why would they empty their pockets, or why would they empty their banks or their coffers into a bottomless pit? That is my major question. And then again, that is not even the issue at stake right now. I don't even believe that donations and grants going into the African leadership is the solution to our problems. As a matter of fact, if you want to ask of my opinion, that is the very problem of the African continent. Because the leadership of Africa, they would squander this money, they would line their pockets with this money and become more powerful and become more tyrannical to the people of Africa. So if the European leadership really want to solve this problem, I believe that they are talking to the wrong people. The African leadership is not the people they have to talk to. Well, some people may argue that we still might need some donations and some grants going into the African countries. Fine. I believe that if we need these grants and donations, it must go to some of these credible NGOs who are down on the ground working to make sure they create that economic environment for the youth to be able to develop their God-given abilities and their God-given talents to be able to have a better future. Because trust me, these migrations are not going to stop until the economic environment, the conducive economic environment is created in Africa. And the African leadership is not going to sit up to create this economic conducive environment for the youth with the monies that is being pumped into their coffers. When they give them the monies, all they do is to create more problems. That is why I believe that the African leadership is not the right people for the European Union leadership to be talking to. If they really want to help, like I said, there are credible non-governmental organizations who are working on the grounds, who are passionately making sure that they create and develop the youth for a better future. And these are the people they have to sit down, and these are the people they have to look for and discuss these programs they have with them. Because trust me, this $2 billion is also going into the pockets of the African leaders to create more problems on the continent. And that is not going to stop the migration, the illegal migration of Africans to Europe. As a matter of fact, if you give them these monies, it is actually going to triple the illegal migration of Africans to the European countries. One of the things I would want to say is that if you really love Africa, if you really want to see the development of Africa, if you really have Africa at heart, please share this video, like this video, and let's share it. Perhaps it'll get to the corridors of one of these powers so they can rethink this whole program and rethink their decision to pump more money into the bottomless pit. Please, we want to entreat, we want to beg We want to plead with the African Union leadership, the European Union leadership, to rethink this whole program, to go back to the drawing board and look for credible non-governmental organizations and work with them to develop that economic atmosphere for the youth to be able to thrive in their own backyard. And like I said, let's share this video so perhaps when it gets to the corridors of any of these powers, they will be able to rethink that decision to pump more money into the bottomless pit. These videos are going to be one of those series coming your way from Afriwic International Organization, produced by Afriwic Media. And I believe that when we collectively put our voices together, we should be able to stop some of this tyrannical activities going on the continent of Africa, and we would be able to create a better Africa. Thank you, and God bless you.